Welcome back to Closed Circuit Sports. I am Drew Goldman, and I am turning into Michael Scott from The Office, at least the meme. And I wish I didn't worry about things like the grown-up that I am, but here we are. I'm doing something super exciting in about a week and a half, and I can't stop going, ah! Do I have everything? What do I need? What did I forget? Do I need to register? Do I need to no? Oh, do I need a rental car? Do I need a ah, 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 all of it? It's all done. Everything's ready. I just need. I got to pack, but that's like over a week away. I'm not that crazy. Probably do that when I get off of this, but. When I was 18, I thought that kart racing was small potatoes. Now that I can see the whole pyramid, I can see that, nope, it's just smaller than a car, potatoes. Only just smaller. A car, just a little bit. Here's why I say that. F600, 15, 20, $15,000 to $20,000 car. Shifter carts, Newcastle Motorsports Park. Total? Probably about a $13,000 car. Are you ready to go? Probably about $13,000. Because a proper shifter engine, unmounted, it's like $4,000, if not $6,000. And then the chassis is about $5,000. And the everything else. Between the fuel and the tires and the motor oil to make it two-stroke fuel, and the seat and the micron and the transponder. And if you don't own all of these things, that's okay. You can rent them. How many times are you going to rent it before it would have paid for itself if you had just bought it on the first one? So you want to buy it early, but not so early that you're not going to get enough use out of it to pay it off. So you have to know that you're committed. Welcome to the trap. Crazy sport, though. Because, like, I've played sports all my life. Nothing, I mean nothing, hits like racing. Closest thing is paintball. Rugby shortly behind that. But I would still say paintball is more fun than rugby. And I would confidently say that racing is more fun than paintball. Common theme between paintball and racing, you gotta pay to play. There's no way around it. You gotta find a way to pay to play. Which is why the right and wrong people show up. It's a weird game. Trying to figure out how to make it happen so that you can actually go that day and just have fun instead of stressing the whole time you're there about all the things that you should be doing, or all the things you could be doing, or all the things you could be spending this money on, or all the things that you should be spending this money on, God forbid. So, sometimes you end up in a position where you have enough money to do something, but not enough to do things that you want to do. Well, then you got to find a way to fold that we'll stack up and make something out of it. I'm lucky enough that I've been in the position of trying to become a racing driver in Indianapolis, Indiana for the past 10 years. I wasn't trying and researching how to become a racing driver, really, until I about turned 18, till I got to college. And then everything started to just new Google searches would pop into my head of, oh yeah, don't you need a racing license if you want to go racing? How hard is it to get a racing license? And then seeing how much money it is, seeing how little time you actually get to go drive, and then being like, well, how do you get ready to do that? Well, that's where driving school is how you get the license. And no, but how do you get ready for a driving school? Well, that would be the simulator, right? Like, unless you want to own a car with the transmission of the racing machine that you're going to use, but then you have to pick the division that you're going to go after and actually mean it. So let's start researching divisions. And the racing pyramid is deep, it is wide. I'm just talking about road racing or ovals. Like each of these disciplines, dirt racing is its own pyramid. Dirt ovals in particular. There's a dozen different kinds of racing. Motorsports is an industry. It's not a niche. Road racing is a niche within motorsports. The one that I've always dreamed about. For a good reason. It is differently sold in Europe than here. Here, ovals are professional racing. That is racing for money. The reason for that is that when they built the ovals, they built them so that you could pack a whole bunch of spectators around it, sell a bunch of tickets, and watch a bunch of carnage. Overseas, across the pond, racetracks were sold like roller coasters for drivers. That's what the Nordschleife still is. That's what Spa-Francorchamps is. That is what Silverstone is. It is a driver's course. It is a course that drivers love. Golf and racing are often compared to each other. That's why. European road courses are the reason that racing is compared to golf. Racing, ovals, and golf, very little in common. Road racing and golf, I could see it. Easy. So it was always sold to the driver across the pond. Over here, it was sold to the spectator. That has informed everything that we know about American racing versus European racing. American racers are there to put on a good show, and the European guys are there to find out who's the best. I ain't saying that oval racers who are elite aren't elite. They are at their discipline. I don't think you could drop. There's a couple who are road racing specialists who ended up in NASCAR. But most of them, I'll say most, could not hang with the V8 supercars guys over in Australia. Could not hang on a course like that. In equal machinery. One in yours, one in here. Home and away. You know what I mean? Different thing. Road racing is a different thing. And sim racing, I'm coming to find, is a different thing. It's its own discipline because you can do different things in the sim than you can do in real life. And you can do it with a kind of reckless abandon that you sure as shit can't do in real life. So, with Daytona Kart Week coming up and it being my first time going, I am very excited. I am also very nervous because I can't afford for anything to go wrong. I need everything to go right, and I need everything to not go poorly. I need to not be last, God forbid, but I also need to frickin' finish the race. Thankfully, I did at my first major event, and I finished all of the little GPs that I ran at K1. Yeah. But I also know that LO206 was a very different proposition from K1, financially and otherwise. Much higher speeds. Much higher speeds. Racing outside is different, and elevation change is serious. Serious number of variables to factor in. Luckily, though, I've been doing all of this here, where I'm right at the heart of it. I got to go to the last two Indy 500s. Not this past year, but the two before. And next season is approaching very quickly. It is December 15th, 2024. For the next 3.5 hours. Bro, time moves so fast now. I'm only 28. I know a bunch of people now, but I don't know where to have the money to bother them again. So what I'm trying to find at this point are people who have the resources and not the connection. Because I can absolutely call somebody for you. There's some people I know now. We can figure out where you would actually fit and where you wouldn't actually get eaten. Because it's a big pyramid. And I, after all this time debating how to attack the pyramid and where I belong in it and where I should spend my time and my resources, here I am at the bottom, challenged. I did not expect that. I was a gamer boy for a long time who thought, with how much driving I've done as an Uber driver and a Jimmy John's driver and a Papa John's driver over a decade, 3,000 trips, all city driving, all going from unknown point to unknown point. Like, I felt like I had some game as a driver. And then I stepped into iRacing and found out that I had no game, and I didn't know why. So I started learning how to race, as opposed to I had learned how to drive before. Now you got to learn how to drive a race car. That's called learning to race. Driving on the limit without crossing the limit, not just counting down until you spin. Like, actually maintaining consistency over a number of laps, watching that time tick down. All of this had to be done in the right order so that I was confident enough, again, in the sim, that I was like, I should go back and do a kart race. I've never done a competitive kart race, and I really want to go race cars, but I just don't have the money still. So I went and did the little $75 GP K1 and got cooked again. I was like, what? What? What did I do wrong? What am I doing wrong? What can I change? What do I need to fix in order to be competitive? And it was coaching. I had to be a student again. I had to be willing to learn and understand the differences between this and that, between this kind of car and that kind of car, between this kind of cart and that kind of cart, between this heavy rental cart and this light little flexible sprint chassis. There's giant differences that have to be adapted to, across the board. When you come into a new division, there is an adaptation. I've gotten really good at that through the sim, where you can put me in something new and I can find my rough limit in that new car pretty quickly, consistently. I haven't had a chance to put it to use. I hope to get that chance someday soon. I hope to get the opportunity to be somebody's coach. I hope to get the opportunity to be somebody's agent. These are things that are down the road. For now, I am still a go-kart racer from Indianapolis who has a kick-ass sim now. And the kind of job that keeps me busy but has me in the passenger seat all day. And I miss driving now. I missed driving when I was at my last job, where I was driving a box truck for work. And that was just to each of the sites. That was just to bring what we needed with us to work. And I was like, I miss driving for Uber. I still kind of miss driving for Uber. I would like to drive more, but I would like to drive drives that matter. And yeah, at a certain point, you can't keep going with Uber. It just gets worse. I'd gotten carjacked. I got shot at. I'm done. I retired. for safety and health. Doesn't mean I don't want to. I just wish that I was compensated accurately for it. Like, they don't get paid not enough, man. They do not get paid enough. There's a lot that goes with that job in order to maintain the privilege of doing that job. All I was trying to get at was I've built a list of resources that I am not in the price bracket for at this point. I would be happy to link people above me in that tax bracket situation up with those resources. Especially, maybe, if you could help me do some of my racing. Thank you very much. We're going to grow this thing piece by piece, step by step. We're starting with the sim. It's a healthy sim. We're starting with the kart. It's a healthy kart. And we'll see where it goes from there. But I am honored to take my place among the storied greats of the sim racing cinematic universe at large. We've got a number of guys who both inspired me into this game, helped me to learn quickly through it, helped me to bridge the gap between sim and reality, and also how to set expectations realistically. Thank you for watching. The like and the comment and the subscribe thing is so played out. I don't even want to say it. Y'all know. If you like it, you like it. If you want to see more of it, you sub to it. But whatever. We'll see how that gets turned into a final product. We've got things in the air. We have things that are developing. I'm looking forward to 2025. It's been a few years since I could say that about next year. Here we go. Peace. See you soon.